Mister.
Hey everyone, Mr. MC here. This is a quick guide for round 7 of the Nations Cup. Let's get this started. When it comes to this car, you can shift when the bar is about 90% full, thanks to binary theory for pointing that out. Your first braking point is in between the 200 and the 150 meter mark. Brake in a straight line, then start to ease off on the braking when you start to turn. Let the car cruise for a moment when you're about to hit the apex, then slowly start to accelerate. For this next turn, start to brake when you're about to reach the phone pole sign on the left. Once again, you'll be braking for a moment, then let the car cruise, then slowly start to accelerate. Start to turn in when you're about to pass this bridge up ahead right here. Try to stick as close to the wall as you can, easing off of the throttle if necessary. Same story goes for here, stick to the wall, and then you'll start to brake when you're about to pass the 100 meter mark. Brake at full power in a straight line, and when you start to turn, that's when you ease off of the braking and slowly apply the throttle. Get really close to the apex, as close as you can, and carefully accelerate your way out. Try to be careful right here as it's easy to hit the wall. Then as you pass this bridge right here, apply a quick burst of braking, then slowly apply the throttle. Before you reach the 50 meter mark, you'll be doing the same thing. Quick burst of braking, then slowly apply the throttle. Then start to brake right after you pass the 100 meter mark. Brake at full power, then trail brake your way in. Bring yourself to the right and slowly accelerate through here. Try not to be too fast on the throttle, as that can potentially cause the car to lose control. Then brake right after you pass the 200 meter mark. Brake in a straight line, then slowly start to ease off of the braking when you start to turn. Try to aim for the second apex, so at some point you'll need to let the car cruise so you can get the car to rotate a bit more. Try to get the car on the right side of the track and very slowly apply the throttle. This car has a lot of wheel spin in low speed corners like these, so you want to be very careful, and traction control will come in useful for turns like these. But anyways, that is all for the guide. Let's go ahead and quickly talk about the strategy. When it comes to the race strategy, you don't need to go to the pit stop. However, you do need to take care of your tires, more specifically your rear tires. Because of that, you're going to need to bring the brake balance all the way to the front of the car, so -4 or even -5 should be good enough. You want to try to reduce as much wheel spin as possible. This hairpin right here is definitely one of those turns where if you have too much wheel spin, it's going to destroy your tires. So you want to be very careful with the throttle and just try to get as little or even no wheel spin as possible. You might end up going a little bit slower, but your tires will thank you later. Most of the turns in the first half of the track is possible to get some wheel spin, so you want to try to avoid that. One good way to do it is to shift up a gear, so basically short shift. That way you get less of a chance of having wheel spin and your tires will have a bit more grip. I'll highlight these turns as we go along this lap right here. So these first two turns right here, it's possible to get wheel spin, so you want to get your car into third gear. You can shift down to second to get the car to rotate a bit more, but once you start to fully accelerate, go into third gear. So you'll see me bring down to second again, get the car to rotate, then go back to third as I start to go down this stretch of the track here. You'll also be doing this when you approach the chicane, more specifically at the end of it, and what you want to do is go down to third to get the car to rotate a bit more, then shift up to fourth as you're exiting it, and you'll be able to reduce wheel spin. Little things like that will definitely conserve the tire life of the rear tires, and that way you don't have to worry as much about the tires being worn out and then getting a lot more wheel spin later in the race. I mean, you're still going to face that problem of the rear tires being pretty worn out, especially in the last few laps of the race, but the later you can put it off, the better you will be compared to those who are spinning the wheels a lot. So to sum this up, you don't need to go to the pit stop. Fuel is nothing to worry about. and just try to conserve your tires by reducing as much wheel spin as possible. Traction control might come into use, but one thing's for sure, bring the brake balance towards the front of the car. But anyways, that is all for the guide. Non-commentary version is coming up. This is Mr. MCA, wishing you a good race, and I'll see you in the next video.